Hi, my name is Lisa Madry, and I'm with the National Wildlife Federation. And I want to welcome everyone to our first Greenforce Summit in North Carolina. This is the first of 3 that we're doing across the state, and we're really excited to be working with you and partnering with the community college system and the various schools from across the state to help pull these summits together. And it's been really great. We were talking with Dr. Johnson just a second ago. We've been talking about doing this. They've been talking about doing some things like this for about 2 years now. We've been talking about it for about a year now, and so it's really exciting to see it finally coming together.
Well, one of the main purposes of doing these summits is really, all of you are working in some way in the area of green jobs training development. And for us at National Wildlife Federation, we got into this a lot. That's the first question we get when we start talking with people at community college campuses about green jobs. It's, you're from the National Wildlife Federation. Why are you here? What is this? How did you end up talking about this? Well, we have had a 20-year initiative, our campus ecology program, that focused on campus sustainability, because we know that in order to conserve our resources well, we have to learn how to use them more sustainably. And what better way to make that transition than to work with people on college campuses and young people in particular to learn how to do things differently. But as it's become even more urgent for us as we shifted the focus of our organization about 5 or 6 years ago and made addressing climate change as the #1 threat to wildlife, that became really our top priority. And so we really began to look at how do we transition the workforce to have the skills that we need in order to address climate change. If we can't build greener buildings, if we can't use less energy, if we don't know how to do the things that we need to do to address climate change, if we don't have a workforce that's prepared to do that, then we can't solve the problem. And so that's how we launched into the partnership, and Gloria Mwase from Jobs for the Future is going to talk more about the Greenforce initiative and what we're trying to do, but that's how we got into it. So again, it's really, we see it as really kind of one of the frontline strategies for how we address that global issue of climate change. But we know that it's challenging and that a lot of this is new and that there's not handbooks in most cases of how to go about making these changes that we need to make to the curriculum and to the ways that we are doing things. And so we felt like one of the best ways to learn how to do this and to make that shift is to bring the people together that are trying to do it or trying to learn how to do it, and give them the chance to talk with one another and share strategies and ideas and make connections where they need to be made locally in each of your communities. And so that was the idea behind hosting these Greenforce Summits. And it's really meant to be, we hope this day will be very interactive. We'll give you a chance to meet people that you maybe haven't already met, or if you know some of the people you're here with, have connections with them and learn more about the work that they're doing in this area, so that we can really form an active, we call it a learning and action network, following the summit, so that we see this as a real first step to future action. And we hope that this will be a very participatory and interactive day. We have at the beginning some things to set the stage, which people will be talking more up here, but we hope that you'll be able to interact and have lots of questions and engage throughout the day. And so the first thing we want to do to start that is just in terms of introductions. We're not going to go and have everyone because we don't have time, but we would like you to just share for a couple of minutes around your table, or in groups of 2 or 3 since we don't have a ton of time, but to just introduce yourself and just say something about why you came and what you're hoping to get out of today, and share that with your neighbor really quickly, and then we'll move on. Thanks.
See, there's a lot of folks involved in different ways in the preparation of this meeting, and all of that, we hoped that we took that in and were able to reflect it in the agenda in some way to address. We hope that it's really, we wanted to design this to meet the questions and needs and interests that you all expressed throughout that process. So again, we appreciate all that. I want to also have a couple of other special guests here today as we get going. Randy Flack is here from Congressman Schuler's office. Did you want to say it?
Unlike most policies.
Would you like to just
let me say welcome to everybody. And as she said, I work for Congressman Heath Schuler. Congressman Schuler is one of the greatest advocates, I believe, in Washington for our environment, for green energy. He believes, we talked this morning, he was in Atlanta trying to get home. He flew, he can't come to Asheville from Washington without going somewhere else. And, you know, Congress needs to be working on jobs for this country. That would solve so many of our problems we have. And the greatest way, the most simple way to do that are green jobs. The retrofitting of houses and buildings that could be done with only training from Dr. Dunn and the folks here. The money that could be saved from foreign oil, I know probably y'all don't care about the price of gas this morning, but the greatest thing we can do to help not only our economy, but our defense, our national security, is to get off foreign oil. And the easiest way to do that is through green jobs and protecting our environment. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being involved in the green workforce. And you're going to make a difference. It's groups like this that are going to change the world. And we're going to start right here. So thank you so much.
But none of this would be happening nationwide without the support of Bank of America. And in fact, it was Bank of America that brought National Wildlife Federation together with Jobs for the Future for the Greenforce Initiative. They kind of introduced us and said, why don't you all see, you know, we were both talking to them about what we might do in this area, and they said, you all need to talk to each other. We think you could form a strong partnership, and we did, and it's been a really wonderful relationship. And David Brown from Merrill Lynch is here just to say a few words on behalf of the bank and their sponsorship of this initiative.
As you might imagine, we get requests day in and day out, not-for-profits, and you can't say yes to everybody. And it's a situation where we have to pick and choose a lot of times what has the most priority. And fortunately, in this case, the Bank of America's pleased. I've got some prepared remarks. I know 9,000% more now than I did about 24 hours ago, so I'm doing better. I'm pleased to be with you today to represent Merrill Lynch, the Bank of America Foundation, to talk a little bit about the role community colleges play in helping advance the renewable energy economy. First, let me start by saying that Bank of America recognizes businesses and environmental objectives go hand in hand. That's why in 2007, Bank of America announced a 10-year, $20 billion business initiative to address climate change through lending, investment products, philanthropy, and our own operations. We believe this commitment is one way we can help set opportunity in motion for our clients and their communities while contributing to the global economic recovery by creating new businesses, technologies, and jobs. I'm proud to share with you that we're ahead of schedule, delivering $9.5 billion toward our $20 billion commitment already. But I'm here today also to talk about the $1 million grant the Bank of America Charitable Foundation provided to the National Wildlife Federation and Jobs for the Future to help fund an effort called the Greenforce Initiative, advancing greener careers and campuses. Community colleges across the country are at the forefront of green growth and innovation, whether it's addressing their own sustainability, delivering new curricula to cultivate the green workforce, or making their campuses and operations a classroom by integrating sustainability into education to prepare graduates for jobs in the renewable energy and low carbon economy. With jobs in the country's emerging clean energy sector growing more than twice as fast as jobs overall, the National Wildlife Federation and Jobs for the Future have joined forces on this 2-year initiative that will spur green jobs education, innovation, and training at community colleges in 6 regions across the country, with North Carolina being one of the targeted regions. By supporting the Greenforce Initiative, Bank of America hopes to help advance these collaborative efforts by helping make deeper connection between community, college employers, and state and local workforce development organizations. Thank you for your interest and your participation in the Greenforce Initiative, and for seeing, like us, that addressing climate change isn't simply doing good for its own sake, but has long-term business opportunities that can help move our clean energy economy forward. Thank you.